Hey guys, welcome back to the garage. I'm super pumped about making this video because I've been wanting to do this part of this build for such a long time. And I pretty much have everything I need to accomplish it. And because the truck is off getting the roll cage done, I figured what better time to show you guys what I plan to use to make the 1200 horsepower that I've set out for myself as a goal. 1200 reliable horsepower. And I'm gonna show you guys the whole process, everything I'm using to do that. So here it is. So I basically spent the last 6 months hoarding parts, waiting on parts, ordering, changing my mind multiple times, and ultimately coming to what we have in front of me now. And this is everything we're going to use to make 1200 wheel reliable horsepower. So this being the heart of it, it's a 4th gen 6-liter LY6 block. It came out of a Chevy pickup, and it's been given the treatment. Now, I'm not like one of those grudge racers that try to keep everything hidden and not disclose anything that you're running. I am going to be totally transparent and show you guys everything that I'm using. This way, if you ever decide to do a project like this, you know what it takes to make the horsepower that we're going to make. Anyone can make 1,000 horsepower with an LS. Everyone's seen it, everyone's done it, but you can't make 1,000 reliable horsepower on a stock LS. It won't last. You can do it a few times, but eventually it's just gonna blow its guts all over the road. So we don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen. I can't afford for that to happen. I spent quite a bit of money on this, and basically the budget I set for myself, I spent half of it just on this motor alone. And I'm just basically going to run through everything I've put into this, and when you do your build, you can change whatever you want. This is a combination I went with, and soon enough you guys will see what this combination can do. So starting with an LY6 block, it was bored 30 over. We have a Texas Speed forged crank. We've got Weisco pistons with a 15cc dish. We've got K1 forged rods. It has stage 3 Texas Speed cam. It's got the factory 823 heads, but they have been surfaced. They've been given a valve job. We put Manly heavy duty valves in them. It's got the Texas Speed 660 valves, or valve springs, sorry. Brian Tooley trunnion upgrade. We also did Texas Speed chromoly push rods, LS7 lifters, LS9 head gaskets, all ARP hardware. Everything that you see on here is ARP. Even the balancer that we put on the front, ARP bolt. So if you've ever done any work on these motors, you got to take the timing, or you got to take the balancer off more often than you want to. The bolt that comes with these things are a one-time use, just like the head bolts. So if you're going to be taking heads on and off, don't waste your money with the single-use factory bolts. Get ARP, reusable. It saves you money in the end. Double timing chain, oil pump. We did a high flow, high volume Mellings oil pump. And that pretty much wraps up what we got going on inside. So, for the stuff we're bolting to it. So I've got everything laid out. You know, I'm not hiding anything. Starting off with, I hate these valve curves. I ordered them off eBay, and you know, just because they were cheap, I'm trying to save money where I can. And they've got the worst finish I've ever seen. Listen to that. It looks like these things were sprayed with bed liner. Not too happy. So I will probably end up doing something about that. Probably sanding them down and painting them. You know, ICT billet, valve valley cover. Put a nice hefty order in the Holly. Nice intake. Big elbow. This was actually a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. The picture doesn't do it justice. 102 millimeter Sniper EFI throttle body. Intake comes with the fuel rails, everything. Motion Race Works valve cover breather kit. So I will have to drill a hole into those to mount these guys, because obviously with any motor it's got to breathe, and these don't have any kind of venting in them, nor does it have baffling. These come with baffles. Fuel injection connection, 1700 cc injectors. Hoping these will be enough. They should be. We've got cheap eBay twin turbo headers. They even came with the elbows and the clamps. Speedmaster water pump, significantly cheaper than most electric water pumps. You know, a lot of those things are like, a lot of those water pumps are close to, you know, it's easy to spend $800-900 on the water pump. I can't spend $900 on the water pump, so I spend just a few $100s on the water pump. All my boost stuff is all VS Racing. You know, 50 millimeter wastegates is what I'll be running. And these are VS Racing mirror image 7070 with the billet wheel. They are journal bearing, so they are a little cheaper. But I love the fact that VS Racing makes mirror image turbos. If you don't know about VS Racing, you've got your cheap eBay turbos on this side. You've got your expensive, you know, Comp, Turbonetics, Precision, all that kind of stuff on this side. VS Racing kind of falls in the middle, I find. They are a name brand, but they're one of the cheaper name brands. And I've heard a lot of people and seen a lot of people make a lot of power with these. And because they're mirror image, I really like the symmetrical look they're gonna give me. And it's nice to have something with a name on it. So even if it is just VS Racing, it's a name brand. So yeah, this is what I'm going with. And they look pretty nice too. I am running this is just a Carl's Custom oil pan. It's a lower profile than what the truck pan is that came with the motor. This sucker hangs pretty low, actually too low for the truck. So this is gonna buy me a couple inches, and they come with the ports, like the drain ports already threaded into the side for a twin turbo setup. So nice piece there. Braided dipstick, because this thing didn't have a dipstick when I got it. So I will have to install that guy. But that's the bulk of what I'm putting on this thing. I'm really excited to show you guys what this is going to look like. I'm going to start by actually spinning this motor upside down. We got to pull that oil pan off. And I did read that this guy might have to get drilled out. The diameter for this guy might be a little bit bigger than the hole in the block. So if I'm gonna have any metal shavings going on, I'm gonna do that first before I put the oil pan and stuff on it. But yeah, we're gonna get this thing semi-assembled. Obviously I'm not gonna bolt the intake and stuff down, but I really wanna see what this thing's gonna look like. I want you guys to see what it's gonna look like. So we're gonna put as much together of this stuff as we can right now. this is actually my first time taking a peek inside this too. You can see the K1 rods. Here's the old Texas Speed forged crank. And like I said, everything's ARP main studs, rod bolts, everything. You can see the double timing chain, the new oil pump. You can see how far the skirt comes down outside the cylinder. It's the way it is. They may not last as long, but when you do a stroker kit like this, you might make more power, more displacement. We're 408 cubic inch now, but the piston tends to rattle around a little bit more, so it might wear a little quicker. Hopefully it lasts for as long as I need it to. But that's it. That's the inside. Nice and pretty, assembly lube on everything. But I'm gonna grab that oil pan, start getting this thing slapped together. And just real quick, if you're gonna be using a low profile oil pan like this, and you plan on using your factory windage tray, you do have to cut the front of it off. That's how much I cut off, basically the front 4 bolts, because we actually got 2 things going on here. Because it's a stroker kit, the ends of the connecting rod bolts want to hit the windage tray, because now these rods come further down. So you have to stack a couple washers, or you can buy, there are aftermarket windage trays that are a little bit taller. They're taller this way to avoid that, or you can just stack a couple washers and it should give you all the clearance you need. It's actually the other way. Right, just sets it up that little bit further, so now the rod bolts don't hit it. But this guy, because this is such a low profile, the windage tray needs to get chopped back at the front, just in this section, or else the pan won't drop on. There's basically like almost a 1/2 inch gap. So I already chopped it off, and hopefully everything else here just bolts together with no modifications. Hoping. We'll find out. And there we have it, our 408 stroker twin turbo LS. This thing looks awesome. I love it. I went ahead and threw the Speedmaster water pump on. It did require a little bit of modification to make it work. You have to grind down part of this spacer to clear the head. A little weird how they don't do it from factory when they build these things, but minor modification required. But it's all bolted on there too. But yeah, I love this thing. Look at it. Sheesh. Mirror image 7070 VS Racing turbos with a billet wheel. Going from seeing it just scattered across the table into many parts to seeing it all together, and man, what a feeling. It looks so good. I'm so pumped. I can't wait to get this thing in the truck. The only thing I'm not wild about is, and I knew this was going to be I knew this was going to happen, is one turbo is sitting forward about 1.5 inches more than the other one. Basically just because where they mount onto the heads, see how much space is back here? That same equal distance is at the front over there. But back here, see how it comes right back to the flush of the head. And even with one head, this head sitting further forward, that whole manifold is still further forward than this side. So I may, depending on if it bothers me or not once it's in the truck, I might cut 1.5 inches out of this section right here, wall it back together, but I'm gonna think about that. But yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and look at it. That's what 1200 reliable horsepower looks like. I mean, no promises, but that's what I'm aiming for. You know, anyone can make 1,000 horsepower LS, but it won't last very long unless you beef it up. This guy's beefed up. Like, look how big the throttle body is. It's so big. Much bigger than I thought it was going to be. This elbow is bigger than I thought it was going to be. She's going to flow. The injectors look tiny. I can give you that. They look very, very small. But those are 1700 cc injectors. A lot of guys go with like 220 once you get to this point. Don't know if the 170s, hopefully they don't run out. Hopefully they will be enough. But 220s are hard to tune for street driving. That's why we went with the 170s. I mean, I've got 100-pound injectors in the car. Yeah, we make ample horsepower with that, and the injectors are not running out on that one. So we figured 170s should be enough. And hopefully it is. But that's her. Waiting for the truck. The truck I should have back from the chassis shop next week. I talked to him yesterday, and the cage is 3/4 of the way done. And he figures another couple of days he'll have it all finished up and I can bring it home and we can start getting this thing assembled. It is now waiting. That'll do it for this video. Next video, hopefully we have the truck back and I can show you what the cage looks like later.